a world beyond the boundaries of our reality, where the line between humans and Jinn blurs, a fascinating parallel universe awaits. Welcome to a captivating journey where the roles of humans and Jinn are intertwined, and the extraordinary becomes ordinary. Get ready to delve into a world where the unimaginable becomes real. This is the story of two universes where humans and Jinn walk in each other's shoes. Brace yourself for an experience like no other. In the first flow, we will discuss the relationship between the Quran and yogi science. In the second flow, we will review how Iblis affects humans through consciousness and imagination. In the last flow, it's a powerful reminder that humans and Jinn intertwine, reflecting the essence of who we truly are. Our duality brings forth unimaginable potential, and it's this fusion that gives birth to a harmonious balance. We use our method of the Quran interpretation to review the intertwine of the Jinn and humans. Throughout this thrilling journey, you will realize that this unique existence comes with its own set of challenges. So let us flow to the first flow. In this flow, we will link yoga science and the Quran. Akasha is the fifth element. The main character is the sound, Shabda, and the sound is regarded as the main character of all sacred books in all religions. So let us begin with the yoga science with one of the best gurus in this field, Sadhguru. In his book, Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy. Chakra means wheel, the energy center, and there are 114 chakras in the body. Nadis are energy channels in which the life force, prana, or soul, flows in the energy pathway. There are 72,000 nadis in our ethereal body branches, from three main nadis, Pingala, Sushumna, and Ida. According to the Shiva Samhita, which is based on the work of James Mallinson, a British Indologist, writer, and translator, there are around 350,000 nadis. Among them, 14 are particularly crucial. On the other hand, the Quran has 114 chapters. The Quran contains approximately 77,880 words. The Quran includes about 320,000 to 330,000 letters about the essential book of the Quranic words, according to author Abrar Khan. So what do those similarities mean? We argue that each chapter in the Quran represents chakra, the energy center in our ethereal body. However, the Quran content at the word level represents nadi and is based on Shiva Samhita. Each letter represents a nadi. Therefore, the Quran encompasses not just mere recitation or auditory reception of words, but also serves to attain higher consciousness and spiritual vitality. From that perspective, we can link information between the Veda and the Quran with computer science as a field for applied consciousness to reconstruct how consciousness is created and works. Our assumption, mentioned in our draft paper at researchgate.net in human neocortex layers, is stimulation for multiverse levels, that the Quran revelation began in Prophet Muhammad's brain with one sentence with 14 letters, which represent the disjoint letters in the first of 29 chapters, which also means how probably spoken language began with Adam, since 70,000 years ago, coincided with the cognitive revolution of Homo sapiens in East Africa. Now, let us return to the best guru, Sadhguru, who defined the category of 114 chakras. The video appears in the corner. For a human being to live a full-fledged physical and social life, he needs only 21 chakras in his body to be active. If you have 63 chakras, we can say you're a sage. If you are 84, you have crossed many limits, which people usually think are superhuman. If you reach 108, you're completely there. You would have no sense of body at all. The question at this point is how we can activate this chakra based on the chapters of the Quran. Our method for the Quran interpretation on researchgate.net, method and tools for the Quran interpretation, gives you in detail how we use the triliteral root of the Quran word to reconstruct the connotation meaning for the word across all the Quran chapters distributed within. Therefore, each sound of the Quran's letters carries a powerful resonance, capable of unlocking the divine dimension within you. As we conclude this inspiring exploration, remember that the potential lies within you. By embracing the new method of interpretation of the Quran that harnesses the sacred phonemes of the Quran and their resonance with the chakras, you too can unlock the hidden gateway to self-realization. So, let's view an example of this interpretation in the following flow. In this flow, we will go through corpusquran.com with the verb concordance sort in highest frequency occurrence in all chapters of the Quran. We found that the root kun means be, and the root aman means believe in the second and third positions in this sorting. We see that sorting only after completing the previous video on the mystery of the verb be. It is a long story. Let us go back to the analysis of the frequency distribution of these two roots. We found that the root kun means be frequency distribution across 87 chapters, whereas the aman in 78 chapters is based on al-Mutadabbir software. Therefore, understanding the connotative meaning of the Quranic word kun probably gives you access to at least 87 chakras. Then you can further analyze the ratio of these roots at the phoneme level to each chapter's total phonemes. Furthermore, in reference to our previous video, the mystery of the verb be represents cognate in the English language to the Arabic language, which the Quran defines as mutashabih. As be in Arabic refers to the preposition letter B as appears in Bismillah. Let us explore a clear example in correlation to the video's title. In chapter 17, verse 64,
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
واستفزز من استطعت منهم بصوتك وأجلب عليهم بخيلك ورجلك وشاركهم في الأموال والأولاد وعدهم وما يعدهم الشيطان إلا غرورا.
Dr. David R. Hawkins introduced us to the concept of consciousness frequencies. On his scale, 1000 is the pinnacle of enlightenment, while 20 is the lowest point of human existence. But here's where it gets truly captivating. Iblis and his army possess an uncanny ability to manipulate these frequencies, dragging individuals down towards the lower end of the scale, and excite any of them whom thou canst with thy voice, and urge thy horse and foot against them, and be a partner in their wealth and children, and promise them. Satan promiseth them only to deceive. Muhammad Pickthall's translation. We can see that the first word attached to be is bis'autika, which translates as your voice, referring to the Iblis. The sound is defined as the significant property of akasha, which is consciousness. The second word is bikhaylika, meaning a horse. The most appropriate translation is your imagination. Therefore, Iblis and his army can affect humans by manipulating their consciousness, which causes humans to go down in frequency, as in Hawkins's scale. Let us clarify the situation. If we lose our peaceful behavior, we become a target for more evil. The battleground is our mind, which is a universe. Based upon our behavior, we are created as inner evil enemies, which is the chance for Iblis to exacerbate the situation toward more destruction. Then we lose our free will toward deterministic behavior, which probably represents most of the human population. An example of that is what occurred with Adam in the word fawaswas, which means whisper, which is related to the sound of Adam's inner voice, which gives a chance for Iblis to exacerbate the situation of Adam, which is correlated through great imagination with the tree of eternity and possession that will not deteriorate. The question at this point is, if Adam failed his test against Iblis, what about our situation toward Iblis? We argue that around 60 to 75% of humans failed against Iblis, and the Quran refers to that issue in many verses, as in chapter 36, verse 62. Most of them lose their free will and become deterministic, and they certainly think they are on the right path, as in chapter 7, verse 30. So, what are the relations between humans and al-Jinn? According to string theory, everything is an open and closed string, the fundamental object of consciousness representing 0 and 1. Al-Jinn is a living being within our universe. Therefore, their consciousness will probably be open and closed strings of 0 and 1. From yogi science, our right is represented by Pingala, which is masculine, and the left is Ida, a feminine form. Our draft 2 papers on researchgate.net argue that we have opposite sex pairs in a parallel universe. Lilith's spirit, female demons, appeared in Mesopotamian, Greco-Roman, Abrahamic mythology, and Western literature. Kabbalistic mysticism argues that God created Adam and Lilith in such a manner that the female creature was contained in the male. Therefore, Lilith is probably our sex-opposite pair in the parallel universe, which is Jinn, which in our area is referred to as the mother of children, in Arabic known as Subyan. Furthermore, in the Quran with the Prophet Moses' story, in chapter 27, verse 10,
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
وألق عصاك فلما رآها تهتز كأنها جان ولا مدبرا ولم يعقب يا موسى لا تخف إني لا يخاف لدي المرسلون.
These accounts are mentioned in the Quran, which is revered as one of the greatest miracles in history, reminding us of the unwavering power of faith and the divine. But what happened next left everyone stunned. Undeterred, Moses called upon the divine powers bestowed upon him, standing strong in the face of uncertainty. Verse in English, and throw down thy staff. But when he saw it writhing as it were a demon, he turned to flee headlong. But it was said unto him, O Moses, fear not, the emissaries fear not in my presence. And chapter 28, verse 31.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
وأن ألق عصاك فلما رآها تهتز كأنها جان ولا مدبرا ولم يعقب يا موسى أقبل ولا تخف إنك من الآمنين.
Witness the awe-inspiring moment when Prophet Moses' rod transforms into a slithering serpent. He escapes danger and avoids harm. This incredible display is a testament to Moses' faith and determination to fulfill his divine mission. The verse in English is, throw down thy staff. And when he saw it writhing as it had been a demon, he turned to flee headlong. And it was said unto him, O Moses, draw nigh and fear not. Lo, thou art of those who are secure. Muhammad Pickthall's translation. The key word is tehtazzu, which means vibrate, and it describes the rod of the prophet Moses, which changed to a snake that vibrates like a jinn. Hence, we argue that the sign represents the fundamental object of the jinn, consciousness as an open string, which is yang. Since human consciousness is formed from open and closed strings, humans probably refer to Homo aliens instead of Homo sapiens. In the following flow, we will delve into depth using our method for the Quran interpretation with the root word Jinn. Discover how we interpret the triliteral root of Jinn in the Quran with our proven method that's sure to unlock deeper meanings and insights. Join us in this flow to better understand the Quranic text. We have discovered an interesting connection between the Arabic noun al-Jinn and the word Jannah, which means heaven, as well as with the term Majnoon, which means mad people. This connection is based on the shared root Janan. To interpret the significance of this connection, we will apply our method of interpretation of the Quran. The noun Jinn appears 22 times in the Quran, the highest frequency distribution for this noun. It is 4 times in the favor chapter and 3 times in the Sheba and Al-Jinn chapters. Based on the highest frequency distribution in the favor chapter, we can ask the following question. How can jinn creatures be considered gifts when they are known to make many people sick or cause harm? This question is based on the significance of the semiotics of the title. First, we retain the noun el-in'am to its root, ni'am, which means favor, to easily understand the semiotic of the title in correlation with the contents of the chapter. Therefore, the noun al-Jinn has the highest frequency in the favor chapter, signifying that God created the jinn as a gift to either lead humans to heaven or drive them mad. While it is well known that jinn can make humans mad, it is unclear how they can lead humans to heaven. Before answering this question, let's review the significance of the highest frequency of other chapters. In 2 other chapters, Sheba and Al-Jinn, the first one refers to a region known as Yemen. So what is the relationship between the Yemeni people and Al-Jinn? Pay attention to understand what the relationship is. In the Al-Jinn chapter, the number 72 refers to the 72 kingdoms of Jinn listed in the Lesser Key of Solomon, starting with King Baal mentioned in chapter 37, verse 157 of the Quran, and ending with Count Andromalius. The Quran mentions that humans worshipped Jinn in chapter 34, verses 40 and 40. Renowned for his wisdom and wealth, was not just an ordinary ruler. He possessed a unique connection with the supernatural realm. His extraordinary ability to communicate with the jinn allowed him to harness their power and influence the world around him. Through his profound knowledge and empathy, Prophet Solomon established a harmonious relationship with the jinn kingdoms. In return, they assisted him in constructing magnificent structures, understanding unknown languages, and granting him unparalleled insights. And on the day when he will gather them all together, he will say unto the angels, Did these worship you? They will say, Be thou glorified. Thou alone art our guardian, not them. Nay, but they worshipped the jinn. Most of them were believers in them. Furthermore, the active participle in Arabic, known as Ismul Fa'il wa huwa Jann, appears 7 times in the Quran. The chapter that mentions it the most is the Lord of Mercy, which references it 4 times. This suggests that, according to the title's semiotics, God created Al-Jinn as a manifestation of mercy. The Quran teaches that every person has a companion, referred to as qarin in Roman religion. The term genius in Latin, genius, plural geni, represents the divine nature present in every person, place, or thing. Similarly, the Greek word gini means woman. Linguists refer to two words in different languages that share the same meaning, sound similar, and have a common ancestor as cognates. Interestingly, the noun genie from Latin and Greek languages is a cognate of the Arabic word jinn, which highlights that every human has a companion. It is fascinating to see how different cultures and languages share similar concepts and ideas, which can help us appreciate our shared experiences and bring us closer together. Moreover, the term androgyny is highly misunderstood, according to the Merriam-Webster.com definition. The quality or state of being, neither specifically feminine or masculine, the combination of feminine and masculine characteristics, the quality or state of being androgynous. The term comes from the Greek andro, which means man, whereas gynous means woman, which refers to jinn as a cognate. Therefore, we are created as a pair in the case of a male, which is human, and the other pair is jinn or companion jinn, referred to in mythology in many ancient cultures as Lilith, which is a female. As appeared in Burney relief, the Queen of the Night. Relief is a Mesopotamian terracotta plaque in high relief from the Old Babylonian period, a supposed representation of Lilith or Ishtar, 1800 BC. The relief is displayed in the British Museum in London. Hence, you are a human in our universe created as human and opposite-sex jinn, whereas in a parallel universe, you are as jinn created as human and jinn. And that is probably what the Quran refers to in chapter 41, verse 53.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق أولم يكف بربك أنه على كل شيء شهيد.
Painted in 1866 by Dante Gabriel Rossetti, Lady Lilith showcases the beauty and complexity of the female form. With Lady Lilith, he aimed to portray the duality of female nature, reflecting the artist's fascination with the mysteries of femininity. Rossetti's decision to change the face of Lady Lilith raises questions about the nature of his relationships and the symbolism embedded in the artwork. We shall show them our portents on the horizons and within themselves until it will be manifest unto them that it is the truth. Doth not thy Lord suffice, since he is witness over all things? In the last section of this, we need to close it with the statement for the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever knows himself knows his Lord in Arabic. Man arafa nafsahu arafa rabbah, in reference to Ibn Arabi. Know thyself is a famous philosophical saying inscribed in ancient Greece's forecourt of the Temple of Apollo. According to Socrates, the key to attaining true wisdom is to know thyself, because only then can one appreciate what one understands and what remains to be learned. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey. In the end, as the human and jinn versions of yourself converge, a profound realization dawns upon you. The true power lies not in choosing between these two identities, but rather in embracing their union. The synergy between the human and jinn within you serves as a reminder of the endless possibilities within our existence. United as one, you become an unstoppable force, empowering others to embrace their own duality and unleash the extraordinary. And as always, keep questioning, exploring, and expanding your mind. Until next time, confidently seek knowledge from God to understand your true self.